The film opens in the same way as its predecessor from 1996, with a man running, the camera placed low so the feet land into frame. In both films, with the landing of the right foot, the soundtrack begins. Here, a track called Shotgun Mouthwash by High Contrast plays, as opposed to Iggy Pop's anthem Lust for Life, which features in the first film.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family.
As the camera manoeuvres around, we have a series of quick jump cuts to tulips, an ocean of bicycles, canal boats passing under bridges, and windmills. Iconography all associated with Holland, which gives the viewer, within just a couple of seconds, the relevant information to establish the location. We're not in Scotland anymore. Amongst the footage in this montage, we then see a brief glimpse of a blurred out character walking towards the camera. Those familiar with the 1996 film will immediately recognise this as Mark Renton, played by Ewan McGregor. As the camera pulls back, it's revealed that the character running on the treadmill has long hair and blends in with the other gym members. He looks completely at home in this scenario, maintaining a steady pace. However, he appears to be running at an ever so slightly faster speed in comparison to the rest of the runners. Will he be able to maintain this speed, or will his advanced pace eventually catch up to him? This healthy man appears to have chosen life. Another jump cut, this time to the exterior of a bar, then confirms our location. Welcome to Amsterdam, some 409 miles away from Edinburgh. We then see brief footage of former Dutch footballer Johan Cruyff performing his famous Cruyff turn in an international match. A moment of brilliance, leaving his opposition flat-footed and left unawares, perhaps symbolic of how Renton left his so-called friends at the end of the previous film, looking in the opposite direction and hustled out of a position of security. This again cuts directly to the blurred-out image of Renton walking through London at the climax of Trainspotting, followed by the images of a series of cyclists all travelling in a pack before showing one man cycling alone, and instead of seeing his face, all that we see is a skull, an image affiliated with danger and death. The camera continues to track towards the runner whose feet we began with. 20-year-old footage of Renton appears again, however, it's severely less blurry than before. We then see footage of Robin van Persie, a Dutch footballer of the modern age with another piece of brilliant skill, this time showing his famous goal against Spain in the World Cup from 2014. The camera continues its movement as the Dutch motifs continue to flash along with those of Renton before finally holding its position alongside the runner in a mid-shot, enabling us to finally see his face. This is Mark Renton, as suspected in the present day. He is aged. He is no longer the skeletal heroin addict with the shaved head from the previous film. He appears healthy and looks to have stuck to his word, just like he told us from the last time we saw him. He's cleaning up and moving on, going straight and choosing life. He tells us he's going to be just like us. It looks like he's been true to his word. But can you ever truly escape such a chaotic and damaging lifestyle like the one we know he's previously lived? The lyrics of the song during this shot include "A million little pieces will never be enough for you," which can be viewed as a commentary on Renton's struggles with addiction over the years. Just as we are served this reminder of his destructive past, this happens.
A million little pieces will never be enough for you, but the only blood.
As he lies unconscious on the floor, important moments of his life flash before his eyes. We again see the footage of him crossing the bridge in London, apparently going backwards as he travels from the right of the screen towards the left. We then travel even further back in his life, directly through to childhood. A delicate piano version of Lou Reed's song Perfect Day begins to play on the soundtrack. A more innocent version of the song from the last time we heard it in this context in the previous film, when Renton was again unconscious, having overdosed on heroin. We see grainy footage of children playing football. In the opening to Trainspotting, we first meet the predominant cast as they play a five-a-side game which looks violent and gives us plenty of information regarding the characters. Here, the children are viewed sympathetically as we already have the knowledge of the lives they will go on to lead and the struggles that they will face. Interestingly, in the first film, we're introduced to each player by having their character's name appear on screen next to them. However, on this occasion, it's the actor's name that appears. Again, Spud, played by Ewan Bremner, concedes a goal, giving us perfect symmetry to how we were introduced to him in the first film, as a weak link. Begbie and Sick Boy are shown alongside their credits, Robert Carlyle and Johnny Lee Miller. A child with blonde curly hair then appears, and no name is given on screen. This is Tommy, played by Kevin McKidd in the previous film. The audience's knowledge of his death greatly adds to the now sombre tone, as he is one of the characters who paid the ultimate price for their decisions 2 decades ago. Ewan McGregor is the last to appear, which is contradictory to how film credits traditionally work, with him being the star and main selling point of the cast. This reversal symbolises that we are moving backwards. The freeze frame on Renton as a child shows him as the leader of the group, the dominant character. He points, showing the others the way forward, for he was, after all, the only one to escape their surroundings. The brief freeze frames we see here act as time capsules, little pockets of memories allowing the audience to savour their innocence. As the film continues from this point, due to health concerns, Renton is forced to go backwards, forced to revisit the shadows of his youth, travelling home to Edinburgh. T2 Trainspotting is a film that's all about looking back, as opposed to the first film, which was very much about looking to the future. What happens when, as a middle-aged man, you place your past under the microscope and travel back in time and have to deal with the triumphs, failures, and regrets of youth? If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more film content. And if you would like to join us for a film location walking tour of Liverpool, you can do so by booking online at realtours.co.uk.